And we're back, baby. It's game 2 from Blue Bayou team in the trees. Well, I'm so excited. Game 1 was a bit of a pub stomp, so hopefully this next one is going to be a lot closer. BBZ has played basically well in every single lane, but the superstar for the last matchup was Red, getting so much damage out and just solo outperforming. I'm still here with Beanjar. What do you think about what we saw last game?
I thought that on the side of INT, it was complete just mental destruction, if anything else. Like, I saw Bo actually get his Sejuani. He's still gonna get it now, but he was not even remotely, like, not even close to being as aggressive as he usually was, which actually gets results.
Absolutely, and they've decided to stay on the same map state. And instead of first picking the Ezreal, the Lucian has come through. Now, I believe Blue Bayou does use this as a flex pick. It can go either mid, top, or AD carry, but I'm expecting that to head into the hand of Reds given their typical mode of transportation. Let's see what INT is going to go look for. What do you think the changes that they need to make in lanes to make their composition a little bit more coherent than it was last game?
Honestly, get Kenny Hammerspike any champion he wants, first of all. Then you need to just peel around him. And third, you need to not camp Broccoli. Like, yeah, you could get a lead on top of Nier, but if you're camping top lane and taking the kill as well, like as Sejuani, you can't really do that. I'm expecting another Sejuani here because who else would they pick at this point if it's left open? It's just because it does pretty well. But I'm thinking INT, not too sure what their picks. It seems that Alistair Hecken, but I think BBZ is going to go for Lucian Braum here.
Absolutely. The horse has returned. He has re-risen in priority, especially in FOF. He basically, instead of him being a tank, the Riot has shifted him back into the horsey one-shot mode, where he just is a full down. And as soon as you kill Hecarim, you leave room for Silas, and Silas is now returned to the hands of Lights.
I mean, I think the Silas did reasonably well. It didn't do bad enough to replace. I think it did pretty well. What is that, Kindred?
Oh baby, we getting something spicy today with Kindred being picked. So this is either Kenny taking the Kindred into the bot lane, or they're gonna put the Hecarim top. So this is something new, and I cannot wait to see where they're gonna utilize it. But Kindred being locked in the
Two jungler matchup. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but you're also picking another ultimate that is really bad if Silas steals it. So
yeah,
that's concerning.
Like, the second they pick Silas, you just pick one of the best ultimates and they just choose not to die, apparently. So that's going to be really difficult. INT actually bans the Poppy. I'm not really sure why, but it seems that they're going onto the top laners, banning out what the enemy team has played before. INT has shown that they are actually pretty fearful of the Vladimir, the Ezreal, and the Trundle, actually. But I'm thinking, oh, there's strange picks left and right. Hello? Oh,
Absolutely, and now we have the Swain coming through. This is a really interesting composition for In the Trees. They are picking wildly, and it seems like they have really changed up their style from what they've been leaning towards throughout the season.
yeah, either maybe it's a mental boom, but maybe at this point they're like, okay, we gotta switch something up. I feel like that first loss, like how decisive it was, really messed with them. I don't think they actually did too much wrong in the side of draft. I think they just played it wrong. Like they just got way too nervous and didn't take the advantages that they usually take.
Absolutely. It's either mental boom or 10,000 IQ. Well, we're waiting to see it. And with Mordekaiser being locked in, this is a lot of AP damage being selected by the side of Blue Bayou. Is not very good being a solo 80 threat, and there is the
Zin.
Xin Zhao coming back out as a really, really popular jungler. He's been seen in the LCS, he's seen in the Korea, he's been seen in China, and his ultimate is just way too strong at the moment, and I'm not surprised to see him come out as a last pick for Blue Bayou.
Okay, I'm curious. What happens? Kindred presses R, and then Mordekaiser R's Kindred. Like, do they still keep it? Are they still in that realm? Or
So I believe the interaction is if Mordekaiser R's the Kindred and the Kindred R is already placed, then that means Kindred will be dragged into the death realm outside of her R so she can die.
ah,
But if Kindred uses R in the death realm, then then it works in the opposite, where if they drop out of the death realm, the heal will still come through, but Kindred can still basically will still die if she's in death threat after the death round ends,
okay.
because it goes into a different play. But are you ready for the team fights where Silas jacks Kindred R, Kindred uses R, they're fighting on top of the Kindred R, and then Silas places it? We can have team fights that easily last 10 seconds long at that point.
There's gonna be 3-hour team fights now. Just use over and over, and then Mordecai. You know, I'm excited for this one. Who do you think's gonna win?
Honestly, I have to give it to Blue Bayou. They played better last game, but instead of guessing, how about we will just get right into it as game 2 is ready, and I cannot wait to see who's going to take the second matchup between Blue Bayou and In the Trees.
Wait, they actually did they get who's bot? Oh, it's Swain? Oh no. Okay, so that's interesting. I would have expected something like Samira sooner than Swain. That is I don't know if this is good or not. Of course, evolved noob with Kindred in the mid. Are they like doing death throws? Are they just like thrashing around right before they die? Or is this an actual like intentional thing? Is like, yes, I know what I'm doing.
This is a spicy team composition. It's not something that's completely out of the realm. I know during during MSI, Kindred mid was something that was seen frequently in the solo queue. It can be a really decent pick into not ranged mid laners. So I'm not surprised to see it being picked up at now, but I don't think Evolve Noob has taken this Kindred at any point during the season. So this is definitely a whole new flavor for the side of Industries.
Yeah, this seems I mean, they're living up to the name it seems so far. But if anyone can do it, maybe INT can pull through. Because at the end of the day, it's an unsolved game. Maybe we're gonna see something special from INT.
Yep, but unfortunately, one of the other things special, I don't know if you noticed, Beanjar, but Industries has created the trifecta. They have gotten all the Power Rangers together, and they picked
Huh?
five champions that are all really bad if Silas takes their ultimate. So
Oh no.
I did not know. It's unimaginable, but they've managed to do it. Swain R will still give Silas the healing. We all know what happens when Silas steals Alistar R. It's completely a nightmare, and that applies to every champion in the game. So it's going to be on this lights to see how well he can do as he gets a really good trade into Evolve Nuke that is going to be quickly counteract with that PTA profit.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of a range difference at this point of the game, despite having that level up. I don't know if we're actually going to have kill pressure. I'm more excited to see what's going to happen on the side of Dax, because Xin Zhao, while being just very a well-rounded jungler for the early game, is really, really strong at invading. Like, I have a chance he's going to go into his red and try and kill Hecarim. Yeah, no, see right there? He could easily kill Hecarim if he has the right opportunity and right distance claimed. But is he
Yeah,
actually
and
going to
that
walk into it?
ward is dropped out, but he's actually looking for a mid gank. This is a level 3
Oh.
mid gank. Evolve Noob is going to be in trouble as he is slightly pushing up. After this next minion dive, I expect them to go with that wave pushing in, and it looks like
Oh
that's going to
no,
be the
too
option
late.
as that is going to be the I believe it's called Winds into Thunder or some weird ability name for Zinjao, but a little bit of damage onto the Kindred, and that's going to pressure her out and
Wind
force her to.
becomes lightning.
Is that really what it's called? Winds
I
become
don't know.
lightning.
That's what I see. Now I can guarantee you that's
Ah,
actually what it's called. It's kind of a trash name, but I
jeez,
mean,
Raiki cut themselves with all that edge they got. But it's that is a bit of damage coming through from the side of Dax, and he's well, once again putting pressure onto these lanes early.
yeah. I mean, the good pressure early, but he's going to. He didn't actually get too much. He gets the flash. I guess that makes the Kindred more vulnerable. The Kindred with Ignite still has some kill pressure in a melee versus range. I'm not sure if he's doing enough to like accommodate for how weak his jungler is going to be late game without a lead.
Right, have you seen Xin Zhao recently?
I mean, like, I'm pretty sure he does really well early, but if you don't get a lead, he kind of falls off eventually, as most
So,
champions go.
so his late game is
Okay, so apparently Xin Zhao is a beast, and I had no idea.
yep, and Kenny is about to find out as he's been running
Oh
to the death
no,
chamber with an early
he's
gank on the side
gone.
of Dax. And man, what can you say? If that Q lands, you're just completely gone, as Swain has dropped early for that first blood.
Yeah, not only did he die, he lost both summoners, so he's just gonna be weak for the next 5 minutes. I assume
Evolve
that's gonna
noob,
be.
what are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing? Lights is going to be
Wait,
trading. This is into
what?
tower, and that is a big amount of damage. Really well played on the side of
Wait,
Evolve
how'd that
noob,
go down?
picking up this Silas. And
Okay,
as we get
so
into this
Lights is
replay,
already low HP. Maybe don't go for something like this. Evolved Noob has the Ignite and just consistent damage to actually just burst him down. I feel like the HP difference there was really big, and that probably wasn't a fight that Light should have taken.
yeah, it looks like that PTA put in so much work after it was proc with that 3 stack. And now that is going to be Dax picking up the wave, so he's not very upset about the depth going over. But Light's having Paris so early, he does have teleport available, so it is not the end of the world. And this could be the thing that gets this Kindred going, as he's gotten a stack off of that also.
Yeah, I mean, Kindred could
Uh,
be.
Red?
What?
Red's just going to get flashed
Huh?
on into the E. The E's not going to land, so he's going to flash
Huh.
out. But yeah,
I
he was really
guess.
trying to hold the freeze, and it was in a
How
really
did he.
aggressive position.
Why? I mean, I guess just went for it. He still loses both summoners, so now he's going. So neither team will have their bot lane having summoners when they eventually go for the dragon, I assume, because that has been a pretty big point of contention, at least for the side of BBZ. They've shown that they value those pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that wave was massive, so it would have been really difficult to hold that freeze anyway. But it looks like they're still in a pretty decent spot as the wave has yet to push back out. There's no flash on the side of this Swain, and he's going to be in pretty big trouble if Zen decides to go back. But it looks like Dax is going to choose to take a base instead and probably heading towards this top side.
Yeah, it seems that. I mean, if he goes towards the top side, he could cancel out what the Kindred wants to do, but you still have the opportunity to take advantage because they do see the Hecarim's pathing. I know that Sungo actually got some early vision of the Hecarim and where he was going, so you have the opportunity to take advantage and go for Dragon, which, while maybe a point of contention, would still be pretty useful to go for.
Yeah, that is something that could definitely be looked at as the massive CS advantage that Red has managed to pick up. That's at least 3 waves, and I don't expect Swain to get most of this based on how his abilities work, but he may pick up a large majority. He's gonna miss about 4, so he's still that lead is not gonna be closing anytime soon. So really well done on the side of this bot lane from the side of BBZ. They've been playing a really well played series so far.
Yeah, it seems like just precision. I don't see many mistakes here. Like, I'm really confused about the Swain. Like, why would you give a really good ADC player a mage bot lane? I mean, maybe it could work. Swain in general is just nice to have, but in this situation, I'm not too sure.
It's really difficult. It's really difficult to make work in the early game. His level 6 is really strong, where he can kind of sustain through the damage of an AD carry and a support, and he can really get that big damage off. But in the early game, he's really relying on landing those E's, and they're not going to have much damage to follow up after that. So they're going to be suffering for quite a bit of time until both level 6s come through.
You think they could have flexed and like maybe switched the Kindred into and the Swain, just so you get a mid lane Swain and the bot lane Kindred, just so you know you have those what's it called? Those comfort picks. They're similar just by being ranged.
if you're gonna take the Kindred, he's really good into the Swain. He's really good into the Silas. So,
Silas.
having that matchup where Kindred can get a solo lane and get that experience and possibly get some early stacks from the Scuttle Crab, I can see why the Kindred was opted to go mid. And Swain should have been able to survive if that probably not without that early gank. He would have been at least closer. But Dax finding it early really put him in a disadvantageous position.
Definitely. I'm liking where the Xinjiao is going, like just early pressure on the map, but this seems really dangerous,
Yep,
huh?
that's going to be a double combo into the Hecarim ultimate, and Dax is in trouble as he's going to
Oh,
have to be flashing out, but he's exhausted, so Dax is going to be dropping, and really, really good counter damage coming through with a He Who Slops finding the combo and getting the knockup onto both champions before the R can come through.
yeah, the knockup or the displacement from the R, he could have just left entirely because he did have enough time to walk into the right side of the blast cone and then flash. So I feel that was just a bit of a misplay there. So let's hope that he can actually pick himself up from this. I think they're being a bit too aggressive with the recent success.
Yeah, and Red by himself is still going to be able to get that wave push in, so he's in a really good spot. As Lights is trying to gank without ultimate, so I'm sorry, as Boxplode was trying to look for a gank without ultimate, so that was probably never going to turn into much, but he did allow Kindred to get this push in so she can look to recall. And Lights has not used his teleport yet, so he does still have that available if he wants to use that for a Rift Herald objective that's going to be spawning in just a minute.
Yes, that'll actually be what I assume is our next fight, just because the first Rift Herald is very useful. Do we think that the Kindred's actually going to go for any of these stacks? Like, I mean, you could go for the champion stacks, but like the actual farming, like the jungle.
Generally, she needs to. I believe you'll still get the stack even if you assist on a camp that your teammate gets. So, there is a way to still get it if you have a winning 2v2. But the problem is you're trying to do that into Xinjiao, who will beat the Hecarim straight up even with ultimate available, and Silas has a CS advantage, so you're not gonna have that massive advantage in the mid lane to counteract that. So it's gonna be really difficult for Evolved Noob to find these stacks, and Kindred without 4 stacks is not even the same champion.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, I don't see. I think it's just a draft difference. Like, I think they got outplayed during draft so far, and it's showing up in this game, despite the gold leads being roughly even.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they came in with a different look. They're not super far behind yet, so it's not the end of the world. But it definitely seems like this early game plan is suffering as the lanes that was supposed to be countered haven't been able to properly utilize that with Light doing a good job in the mid lane, and the same probably applies to this bot side as Bo Explode sneaks into
He's
that back push looking for a
sneaky.
gank.
I'm expecting something because you did say Kenny Swain level
And you're
6.
expecting something, and you're expecting Red to be dead, as that ultimate is going to come through, forcing the Flash to
Oh,
heal us out. There's no way he's going to be making it. And Boxplode is going to pick up another kill in this early game, and Hecarim could be the carry that brings this whole composition together.
I mean, I think it just works. Maybe it'll work a little bit less once the Silas starts getting into gear with all of these really delicious ultimates going out. But I mean, I see the Swain. I see how it works now.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be really scared trying to team fight a Silas who has the Alistar ultimate available to steal. That's probably one of the worst ones to give over. But that kill going over for the side of the bot side is really big. But He Who Slops is going to be in a bit of trouble if this Q lands. Dax is around the edge, and he is in the alcove. He's alcove gaming. He has his R available. Let's see when he
Oh,
pops it, as he's just going to choose to flash and save that R for a later date.
yeah, I don't think there was any need to. Do you think he should have went for the ultimate instead of the flash? I mean, with by the next objective, 1 minute, he's not gonna have flash for that engage.
Yeah, I think Flash is massive for Alistar, especially because of how he utilized that for engage.
Oh,
As Nier is going to be
big
popping
fight.
the R, Conqueror is up, so the healing is becoming through. Brock Lee is going to need to put a bunch of damage down. The Flash is going to
Wait,
come in, and that's going to be Hecarim picking up the kill as soon as that Death Realm ends. And I guess it looks like Nier was predicting a Flash on the side of Brock Lee that he did not
yeah.
have.
Okay, check when he flashes here. He goes for the Q, and I think he misses the damage. Like, yeah, he doesn't get the damage off at all. So
Yeah, that
I don't
might have
think
been
he was
enough to
going
kill
for
Brock
yeah.
Lee.
I don't think it was enough to kill Broccoli. I feel like there was a misplay in which the second Ornn actually presses ultimate, you are Ornn, so he doesn't get the second part of it. But I don't No, because while he does have the extra damage by being only one target, that's still a bit off.
Yeah, and it looks like Silas has gone into that Q level by how much damage that Q just did. I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully, the production will let me know what spell Silas is leveling. But if that is the choice, that means he's been playing very, very smart around his ranges and using that to pressure off his kindred. Because as you can see, he's maintained a CS advantage in a lane where he has no business even being close. So Lights is really, really doing well. And now we have a gank set up on Evolved Noob.
This gank lineup doesn't seem very good, but I would actually attribute the CS advantage to be more of like Evolve Noob not being very used to Kindred in general, as well as Kenny Hammerspike also playing a pick that I don't think he would be very comfortable with.
And yeah, and we're gonna find out because this team fight is gonna be big. They're all around this dragon, and they're gonna be walking in a little late. The dragon's just already gone, so there's nothing else to take. And that's the second dragon going over for free. As Sungle's just gonna force them both out and look for some wards into this enemy jungle.
Yeah, we have some very good objective control from BBZ, like the vision, the objective have always been really strong inside of BBZ. But we're starting to see why INT has had across the board just higher KDAs, and I think we're just this is self-evident as the kills are going to start piling in. And if you don't get them under control now, this might actually be an I maybe upset, but more so just really big opportunity for INT.
Yeah, as INT is going to be walking away from this tower, the Kraken Slayer has come through for this Lucian, so he will do massive amounts of damage and true damage. And that's just probably going to be the first tower dropping due to a really good rotation from the side of BBZ, forcing this bot lane to back away. And that is just really intelligent. They've been playing the map very, very well and utilizing pressure to get objectives. As now they have pushed up a little bit too aggressively. That's going to be Red getting knocked in, and he is just dead. Let's see if he can turn it onto Kenny Hammerspikes, and that he has found it. And even in an event where he is 1v3, he has found the kill onto the Swain, who was trying to not use his ultimate. But you gotta respect the amount of damage Lucian can put out with that Kraken Slayer.
Yeah, especially with that CS lead that's been accumulating and the turret lead. Like, the Lucian has so much more gold than
and Evolved
Kenny.
Noob is in trouble. The winds become
no.
lightning has landed, and Evolved Noob is being chased out. That audacious charge has come in, and that's going to be flash out, and the blast cone saving the lives of Kindred. When those towers are traded, but that's a big set of advantage that BBZ has been delivered, even despite having a kill go over.
Yeah, it seems that INT has so far in the second game, they just barely escaped down in the bottom lane, 2 back and 3 on their way to Rome. Okay, it seems that INT have actually improved a lot since last game.
Yeah, that advantage that they've had in the top lane and all those kills been delivered over to Boxflood is still putting them in a position where they're about 600 gold ahead. So, in the event that they get a good team fight and utilize that fear very well, that Heck Room could easily become a big threat, especially when you're fighting into a really, really low range composition from side of BBZ. Basically, no one has range over 600, and the highest range champion is actually Xin Zhao. In the event where that happens, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, just tiny arms like a T-Rex at this point. I'm thinking that INT made up for their mistakes in last game, because I remember last game, Bo had over-pressured top lane. Like, you could have had so much more usefulness in, like, getting another more useful lane into the limelight, or rather than not the... I guess the jungler still works here because of the champion he's playing. But having an Ornn being picked means that you could just do nothing top lane, and you're still going to come out on top because of those item upgrades.
Yeah, the change has definitely been very useful. As He Who Slops looks for something in the mid lane, he's not going to be able to find it. But Boxflow is going in with that ultimate onto a Xin Zhao. This is going to be very concerning. The Xin Zhao ultimate is available, who Dax is going to be using it late. But Silas has found the 2-man fear, and now this could just easily be a big disaster. Let's see who's going to be getting it. He Who Slops is taking a bunch of damage. All of them sitting on top of that Kindred as Boxflow has picked up 3, and that is a massive amount of damage going over with everyone from BBZ falling. Nier is not going to be able to win in the Death Realm as he's about to come out, or is he? That's going to be He Who Slops dropping to Nier as that big E has picked up the kill. But that is everyone dropping on the side of BBZ.
I am very excited for this because we're actually seeing... Okay, I'm seeing really good team play just by how it's going down. Oh, what are we seeing here? Oh, a replay?
Yep, it is going to be the replay. And if you notice in the way this fight transpires, this Kindred ultimate was huge.
I thought, there's a possibility that the Kindred Ultimate might have inted it because I think you could have had a lot more early executes before the actual ultimate goes through. Well,
Well,
let's see
let's
what
see.
their HPs are at. Yeah.
You see Boxplode is coming in. His Conqueror's already blocked. All that damage has
Yeah.
come through. And when the Kindred ultimate drops, you're at a position where 3 people was ready to
Oh
die
yeah,
for side
no,
of
that was
BBZ.
really
That
good.
forces out Red. Red doesn't get the heal. The crits aren't there. And now you have a Hecarim rolling around with Q with a bunch of healing from Conqueror and Red buff. So there's no way to push through him. And even though Nier picks up a kill on the back end, that was a lot of a sustain that Kindred managed to pick up. And another kill from the side of Red as he's going to the grave as
Oh,
Bogzode finds him on the very end.
yeah, that's my bad. That Kindred Ultimate actually saved the entire team fight. I did notice, however, on the side of Kenny Hammerspike, I don't know if he's like actually in tune with the champion so far, but he's learning really well. That Kindred Ultimate brought him enough time to actually walk into the enemy team, whereas he just pressed Ultimate and stood at like very as far range as he could have. Like getting his damage out, it's going to be necessary for these team fights because I think that's Silas can steal one of your amazing ultimates, but he can't steal all of them at this point.
Yeah, especially from the side of Boxpo, who's been picking up so many kills. He's the big game changer right now. This Hecarim is putting in work. A Divine Sunder Hecarim getting that damage down, and in an event where he cannot be killed, Conqueror is going to get a bunch of value after that. So they're going to need to take him out. But if he dies or gets taken into the Death Realm and is not part of the fight, then it's going to be back to even terms on the side of BBZ.
Yeah, I think okay, we know this is not mental boom. This is actually like five head play because Bo is just as aggressive.
Five head
Oh
play as
no.
he who's Lops is about to find himself in the grave, but he's gonna be walking
What?
out. Big fear,
Oh
4-man fear.
no.
Red is gonna drop instantly, and now this is a team fight where everyone needs to be running. Sungo is not gonna make it. The bot lane from BBZ is out, and Nier has dropped after. Lights is in trouble, and so is Dax. The R is gonna land, and that's gonna be a triple kill from the side of Swain. The Bow Explode is chasing with Ghost. I don't see a way where Lights makes it out, even with the flash. The E is gonna be coming up in just a moment. The red smite is here, and Lights is barely gonna make it out by the skin of his teeth, but everyone is just gonna drop.
This is a massive like look at the Hecarim ultimate that we see up here. Unless it's already shown. Okay, the Hecarim ultimate, he's just chilling on the side. Eventually we're gonna see I think Slops being picked out. So
Yeah,
engaging that hard on on an Alistar of all things, I'm not too sure about that. No ultimate.
Slops gets the Conqueror, and he is a
Massive
genius.
ultimate.
Everyone grouped up. Red is dead instantly, and there's just nothing to do. Everyone basically needs to run after this because your 80 carry is dead, and that's where all your gold is. And just like that, this is a 3,000 gold lead that's just broken out for the side of In the Trees. And with Boxflow being so strong, I don't know when you're going to be able to fight, but they're going to need to use Light's ultimate to be a frontliner, more so than using it for the engage of the Hecarim.
Yeah, it's just it wasn't the early game wasn't punished hard enough on the side of BBZ. I feel like they had the stronger early game. They had a lot of ways to punish, but no matter what, like they couldn't put down the Hecarim. And in every single team fight, he's just making a world's difference in like setting up these like that 4-man ult just then.
Yeah, and this isn't going to get easier. I expect him to when he takes that next reset. He is going to be coming out with the Steris, and he does have it. So now he's going to be even harder to kill. He's a full item up of the enemy jungler. And the 80 carry from the side of Red is he's so low range. Lucian has a bunch of trouble hitting champions that have threat on him at all points. So this is going to give the Swain, who is now completely back in the game, by the way, an opportunity to just dish out so much damage and prevent the Lucian from killing the Hecarim.
Yeah, it seems really like I was thinking before is like, oh, these are horrible picks. I thought they were running it down at some point, but my faith has been.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Oh,
The Hecarim
no.
ultimate is gonna be
Dax?
onto Dax. Dax is getting a beautiful custom strike. He's onto this Evolve Noob as everyone's sitting onto that ultimate. Evolve Noob's gonna drop though. This is a fight where there's no ultimates available for the side of BBZ. INT is finding everyone, but BBZ has turned it around. Big Braum stuns, and this is 4 people dead in front of Baron. This could easily just be Baron given over.
Yeah, that was very sus. That was a 3v5 or 3v4 actually. It seems that Silas is down on the bottom unless he TPs. Yeah, that was just Not played very well. While Evolve Noob can stall for a while, not long enough for Kenny to actually get the full value of his ultimate. So let's
Yeah,
see who actually
absolutely.
gets to try. Okay, they
So they get
get
the
the
Rift Herald, but
Herald.
this is not it. You see that the ultimate's only going to go to one person, and it's onto Zinshao, so he's going to knock away Hecarim and then just completely obliterate Evolve Noob,
Oh
where
no.
he is 1 HP in the Kindred ultimate, so even when the shield comes through, Lights is just going to jump on over the wall, pick it up, and now a bunch of damage comes through from the side of In the Trees, but it's not enough, and with the Hecarim dropping,
1,000
there's no
gold
follow-up.
shutdown. 700 gold shutdown. That
Yeah, it's
is.
money in the bank, baby, and Lights is happy with
Oh
all the
boy.
kills he picked up.
That is a breath of fresh air on the side of BBZ. Like that is everything they needed and more.
Yeah, I wish we unfortunately I missed who exactly got the shutdown onto the hack room, but whoever got it, provided it
I
wasn't
think
Braum who has 0 kills.
Dax might have.
If Dax got it, that's a win. He's happy because Dax is the one who needs to be a big threat. And the Crescent, the Zenshao ultimate gets so much value in these type of team comps where everyone is going to be outside the range and unable to do significant damage to him.
Yeah, it seems that both teams are like, oh, they start winning, they get really aggressive, and then they start losing again. Like this, okay, earlier in this game, we saw BBZ get really aggressive in the bot lanes, like, oh, we're winning this, we might as well go for it. And then suddenly, like, everything falls apart because like both teams like are pretty evenly matched. Like it doesn't seem that it's actually flowing in one direction, like at every point or over these past two games.
Yeah, Braum gets a lot of value in close, clumped up fights, especially what you saw in that last team fight. Those stuns came through after the Kindred ultimate, so they waited until the Kindred ultimate dropped, and then you got those Braum stuns in it. And at that point, if Red's still alive, you're really, really concerned as he's going for that Lord's Dominic, so he's going to be big damage if he's allowed to hit.
Yeah, I mean, uh, the peel that they actually have from all of these champions. I mean, oh, okay, I'm stupid. I didn't realize how useful that Xin Zhao ultimate is for the Kindred at this point. Because, like, Kindred ults, you just press R and, like, no one's in the ultimate at that point.
Well, we're gonna find out. The Ornn ultimate's gonna be blocked by the side of Sungold, but the shield is now unavailable. A flash out from
There's
Red, as
two?
Red is still gonna be still alive for the moment, and now Sungold is just trying to get into return for Red, but Volkswagen is gonna be picking him up. Big damage from the Heck Room as he's picked up his 8th kill of the game, and the bot lane from the side of BBZ is taken out in front of Baron.
Yeah, that is 2 for none, and I think we're gonna see Baron right now, yeah. Okay, I don't know if there's gonna be I doubt there's gonna be any contestation at all. If I was BBZ, you just try and take as many towers mid as you can, or go for a steal.
It
Oh
looks
no,
like
are we
there's
gonna
going
see
to
a
be a
steal?
contest. The teleport is coming.
Steal,
BBZ,
steal,
Dax is on the
steal.
other end. The Hecarim ult has been stolen. The ultimate has come in, and now that is a
Oh
big
no,
amount of damage. Lights is in the
it's
back line, and it's
stolen.
stolen by Dax. He's picked it up, and they are still fighting. And let's see if they're going to be able to win it. It looks like they are not. But a kill is
Oh,
traded, and a stolen Baron, and the
did
bot
he
lane
ult
is up
Dax or
for it.
something? Wait, no, did he ult the jungler? Oh,
Nope,
he
he
ulted
ulted the
Trinity.
Swain. This is just a straight up smite steal where
There's no
Dax
reason
just
for them to lose
meanders
this.
in. And the hand of God just takes it.
Bo, what are you doing? He has smite up. At least he's okay. He uses it now. That's not pretty. That is the your entire gold lead just gone. Yeah, you thought you had a 10 kill gold lead? No, not anymore. You have shutdowns and you have Baron.
Yeah,
Oh no.
on the positive, Nier is going to drop, so they are going to get that kill later. It looks like, and I'm not sure until the camera heads over to the side of both Sungo and it looks like both the bot laners were not alive to get the Baron, so no one's going to have the Baron.
Oh, okay. So nobody went. But the value of the gold is actually very significant here. It's essentially like 300 per person. So like it's getting Baron is like winning a team fight at this point.
Yeah, the goal from Baron is really, really big. That's the big transition. You see that the goal was at
Ooh, rainbows.
3,000 at one point, and now it's right back over to 1,000.
Ah, yes. Um, the next big contestation is going to be onto the dragon, but now with the gold leads being generally like neutralized, I'm not sure what to expect. I still think INT has a pretty good edge because of nice track record of
Well,
value
we're gonna
during
find it. He
these
who slops is
fights.
going in. His ultimate is just gonna be
Oh,
used with nothing. So
no
that's gonna be
engage.
no Alistar ultimate. Now I'm really hoping Lights takes that Alistar ultimate and uses it. But it looks like he's gonna go for the more of engage options from taking the Brock
They're
Lee
lining
ultimate.
up. It's like bowling.
Yeah, it is like bowling, and this
It's the
dragon's gonna be
Gold War.
huge. That Goldly is entirely onto Hecarim as he's going into the back line, and he has now been in. That's gonna be Sungo dropping instantly. The ultimate not having it onto the Alistar is gonna force him down. Lights is putting in work as the Swain ultimate picks up a bunch of damage. Red is going to be still alive, but Boxfloat is just healing through everything. There's nothing else that can be done. He has managed to sustain through it all, as that is a two. Oh, I'm sorry. Is
Oh,
this going to
does
be
he?
Boxfloat dropping?
Oh, okay.
Well, it was close,
Oh.
but Dax is unable to pick it up. There's no smite steal on this one, and that is going to be a big fight. 5 for 3 on the side of INT.
I am proved entirely wrong. Is the Swain doing so much, like ticking on 5 people? Like generally, everyone in that team fight was taking some sort of Swain damage while he was in Zanya's as well. Like the team fight abilities on the side of INT are like unparalleled, along with the dragons now actually providing more gold through damage. So like the gold difference has been redistributed, like re put at to what it was before. Like INT has a winning edge for now.
Yeah, it's returned back to equilibrium, but I have to question for the side of Lights. Alistar Ultimate is so good for the side of Silas to
Maybe he
steal.
doesn't
Do
know.
you really need that ultimate? Do you really need the engaged threat from the Ornn, or do you need to be able to survive longer and sustain through the damage? You saw how much damage he puts out, even being 1 and 4. I don't know. That should be. If I was in the side of BBZ, I'd be telling him that's the next option that you need to look for.
I mean, maybe they just need someone like you on their team. Because I don't think he actually, if he knew how broken it was, he would. I have no doubt he'd do it every single fight. Because like pressing R and not dying at all, especially with that extra tenacity that I think Alistar gets, I think he just sheds all of the CC he currently has on him. But like that is insane value that the Alistar ultimate could provide. I agree.
Up, he gets the free cleanse from the Alistar Ultimate activation, and then he gets the massive damage reduction on a champion that
And
comes
like
with a built-in
80%.
healing. It depends on what level Silas is ultimate at, I believe. So he gets level 2
Ah,
Alistar ultimate at this point. So I believe it's like 45 to 50. It's a
oh,
really high threshold of damage reduction in either state. So I don't know. It looks like actually it
oh.
is 65%. So that is kind of nutty on Silas.
Yeah, I mean, a Silas that takes 65% less damage, healing because typically I understand that Silas, at least in the jungle, maxes some sort of heal. Oh yeah, he did max the Kingslayer. He maxes the heal. So like that value, just healing all of that damage and not being able to take any of it, ooh, that's tasty. However, that might be neutralized with all the other very good ultimates.
And it's going to be neutralized real quick as Red's
Oh
hitting the
no.
Death Chamber, getting hit by too much CC, and now the engage has come through. Nier is just going to drop. Swain has picked up a double kill, and a trade kill actually comes on where Dax has found the Kindred on the back end, so Evolved Noob getting caught out, but Boxful is just going to pick him up, and this is a bunch of kills, 4 kills being taken, or actually, I'm sorry, correction, 3 kills being taken, but still, that's a lot of gold to be giving over to a team that's already massively ahead, and they're going to be picking up some towers on the back end also.
This is mainly a result of BBZ playing one of their. I'd say BBZ are fairly weak when it comes to ending games like quickly. So their play style for this does not actually work with the enemy team because you see there's already 3, maybe even 4 Ornn items on the map. I think 3 Ornn items on the side of INT right now. So broccoli is just like giving more gold. There's so much more gold value. I'd say with the jungle or with the Ornn items, as well as the dragons, like this could eventually lead to almost a 10k gold lead.
Absolutely, 2,000 gold damage done by the Swain. Honestly, I think the
Ooh.
biggest issue is that they're just not using their team fight abilities correctly. Nier should be ulting the Hecarim every fight. It doesn't matter if you can beat him or not, but just having him out of the fight, that's the gold lead right there on the Hecarim. 14, 1, and 12. Get him out of the fight and then take him down when the enemy team is collected up afterwards. But they just haven't been using their ultimates effectively.
Like, and even if you use ultimate on the Hecarim, you still have Kenny Hammerspike, who has gotten a massively like insane value in these team fights. Like, would you rather ult the Hecarim, who, yeah, he's very good tank. He is worth using ult on, or would you rather ult, let's say, the Kindred that could save the entire enemy team, or even the Swain that could melt your team as well?
I think it always has to be the hacker room. But now they're going to get another opportunity at it. Let's see what Ultimate Lights chooses to take. He's going to walk in. He's going to take the hacker room ultimate, so he's going to not use it. He's going to be going in.
Oh, okay.
The Baron is not stolen this time, but this is an okay setup. There's a lot of damage from the side of Lights being tanked up. He's going to get the Hourglass, but Red is not able to put out anything as he is looking for a space to auto and is unable to find it as a triple kill is coming through the Swain. That's going to be a bunch of damage ticked over, and I don't know. I cannot agree with this decision by Lights to take the Hecarim ultimate.
Yeah, like let's say, okay, he who slops is right there. He's right there. You can just choose not to die and ruin the entire team's lives.
He got nothing out of it because no one can follow up out of the fear. So this, I don't know. This is really, really difficult. You see how hard it is for Lights to even find room, for Red to find room to hit. And he was forced into his Hourglass so early that it may have not even mattered anyway. But after that, that is just a clean fight picked up where everyone's just going to be dropping to the side of Swain.
Yeah, that is just brutal at this point. I think Kenny, the amount of damage he's going to arrive with at the end of this game, like I can already expect that it's going to be similar to the damage that Red has output in last game. So
I would go against you on that one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Boxblow topping the damage charts as he's found it everywhere. And now with that last team fight, they are on to the Nexus Towers. This is going to be a little bit close as Sungo is spawning. Red's going to be alive in just a moment, and so is Dax, so they may be forced out here. But that is a Nexus Tower going over and a third Infernal Drake being picked up from the side of Kindred. So they are in a really, really solid spot.
You're probably right about the Hecarim, but I'm willing to. You know what? Okay, let's just see who's right. Is the Hammer Spike going to come out with more damage, or is the Explode show coming out with more damage?
Who knows? It's possible for either of them to have been the big carry. We know you are a big Kenny fan, so hopefully.
Yeah, let's go, Kenny!
He comes in close, but the game is not over yet. There is still an opportunity for BBZ to fight back, even despite this 10,000 gold lead. If they can find the right angle, if they can find the right amount of sustain and allow Red to utilize that damage he's managed to pick up, because he is still comparable in damage when it comes to his matchup directly with the Kindred. But if this game goes any further, you're at a level 16 Ornn who's gonna be massively tanky, who's giving over those items to both the Hecarim and to the Kindred and to the Swain. So this is not going to get any easier for the side of BBZ.
Yeah, there are 4 Ornn items on the map, like insane gold value. 3 dragons at this point. Stacking all 4 Infernal Drakes is huge. It's just huge. Like, you can't really do too much against this. I feel like we're going to have a slow march to victory here.
Yeah, that Baron is up, and they are looking to push with it. That they are going to be grouping around this mid tower. You see that they're probably just going for a straight 5-man stack, but Lights has intelligently pushed out those supers in the bot lane, so this is going to give angle for the side of BBZ if they choose to fight.
Worst comes to worst, maybe you send someone down to proxy, pray that they can't just take. They could honestly tank the towers and just run it down. Like I don't. Maybe they could. They're really, really strong. Like, this is 10k plus gold lead at this point once you add in all the dragons and items.
Well, yeah, they definitely need to play a little bit more aggressively, but that is going to be Boxblow going to the back line, getting the fear. A big engage from the side. He who slaps is going to knock up 3, but that ultimate from Lucian is picking up a bunch of damage, but let's see if they're going to be able to sustain through. Dax is going to be into the back line. Everyone's sitting onto that Kindred ultimate. This cannot be good from the side of BBZ as they have the second one come through, but everyone's going to be dying, and that is a three people picked up, and Lights is going to lose his life also. And it is just not enough damage to be able to be protected from the side of Lights, and he did not find enough impact, and that's most likely just going to be the game.
That ultimate from Lights, like stealing the Kindred ultimate and just using it right after, almost just saved it right there. I feel like it had a lot of usefulness, though I'm very surprised Evolve Noob wins.
Yep, absolutely. He who slaps has protected his ultimate the entire game, and In the Trees has picked up game 2. tying this series up in what we could expect to be a really, really close one as we get into these next couple games.
Oh, who did more damage? Who did more damage?
Drum roll, please.
Ooh, who? Damage. Come on.
And it's going to be
damn
Hacker
it.
Room.
God damn it.
All right, while the
so
censors do
close.
their work to get rid of that one, it's going to be Hacker Room who Boxbolt had a massive game today. Only one death, picking up a multitude of kills in that double digits. So when your Hacker Room is so strong, there's not really anything you can do after that. So really well done from the side of Boxbolt.
Yeah, good value on everyone on the team. I'm surprised that the Xin didn't actually show up with like more value, but I guess it's just a result of the lead. Oh wow.
Yeah, absolutely. He did as much as he could, but it just wasn't enough. And with that conclusion of Game 2, we're going to get right into a short delay, and Game 3 is going to be right with us in just a moment. So don't touch that browser because we're going to be right back.
What makes you an exception?